welcome to Hooked on Rugby. My name is Mal Pope.
And I'm James Hook.
Today our special guest is Welsh international George North.
George has already won 79 caps for Wales and 3 test matches for the British and Irish Lions.
Well, I'm pleased to say George joins us today from his home, from his thinking chair.
Alright, Georgie.
I'm better hearing your voice, James, I tell you.
What is the thinking chair then, George? Tell us about the thinking chair.
I'd call my thinking chair, so it sounds a bit more regal than just a chair, you know what I mean?
But the thing is, you are a fellow of Bangor University, so obviously you think a lot of deep thoughts, George.
It's probably too complex for you guys at the moment, so I won't say anything.
Hey, talking about a chair and seats, how do you feel about your new seat in training? Are you happy with the new seat in Osprey's training?
James, I think you know, James, a prime spot of real estate came up in the change room. As a modern man, I'm not one to miss opportunity like that. So, yeah. Is this when you want me to blow smoke up you now and make you feel good about it?
No, not at all. Well, I'll explain. Paul James retired. There's a seat up for grabs, and George took it.
It's a nice seat at that. Is it the best seat in the house?
Well,
what do you think, George?
I took the initiative and thought possession is 9/10 of the law, so I just sat there, and yeah, it's leg room. I get more storage now, a bit more space, good company. So
James has been telling me all about your past. I didn't realise that you're actually English.
Apparently so. Hang on, one second. Look. Come and say.
Aye. Which one's that, George?
It's Darcy, look.
Hello, Das.
Beautiful. Hello, Darcy. Yeah, boy. Come by.
He's off again. Sorry. King's Lynn.
Right.
And then my father's Englishman for his sins. And then he was in the RAF, so he got posted away when I was very young. So we did a tour of Hong Kong, Kathmandu, Singapore, back to Hong Kong, and then ended up back in Irish Valley. And then I was, 18 months, 2 years old when we got back there. And
Hey, speaking about your old man, George, France coming up, first game. Is he going to make an appearance out there? Or?
I hope not, James. I really do. I hope not.
You scored your first try. Your dad was so excited about it. He ran on the pitch, but then was taken off by the stewards. Yeah.
And then I've got a very funny uncle called Uncle Eddie who finds it brilliant when this sort of thing happens. So by the time I got back to the change room, I already had a text from him saying, "We're having a whip round for your father, €5 each to get him out of prison." So obviously my mother didn't find that very funny because she was there. I'm like, "What are you doing, you silly bugger?" But yeah, long and short of it, when that happened, it was a funny day, I'm sure, for everyone involved, apart from myself. My sisters thought it'd be funny to get he was wearing a bobble hat at the time, or some sort of beanie hat, and they had that framed as like a first cap for him, and they had it all like a plaque made up of Dave North, first cap for Wales against France away.
Were you a Six Nations family? Was it the sort of thing you'd gather around the television on a Saturday afternoon in the old days?
Good up in Anglesey, rugby's not it's not huge, it's getting better, and especially in the North Wales region as a whole, like RGC and that. But I think as a kid growing up, watching rugby and I guess being a fan of rugby, I didn't necessarily support a club, one club as such, but when Wales was on the TV, I think every young man or young boy was glued to the TV, and every family is, and that stems back to me for many years, to the point where my mum was shouting at the TV and I was shouting, and now I'm very fortunate enough to be involved in it. So nothing changes. All my family still watch, as mad families do.
Hey George, who's a hero as a kid growing up then?
Good question, James. Thanks for asking that.
Sorry.
My heroes growing up, being Welsh, obviously, not English, thanks. I was a huge fan of Shane Williams. Growing up, watching him play, the excitement and that he would bring was huge.
Shane Williams! And Shane Williams has won the most dramatic game in this Six Nations, perhaps in any Six Nations.
Looking back at wingers, John Malone was a big inspiration for someone a bit bigger like myself. And then people like Brian Habana, who I was very fortunate to play against from very early in my international career. So these guys, if you put them into a cocktail, that's kind of who I looked up to as a young man.
as you look back at the career, and you say you're a young man, but you've played so many games already for Wales, haven't you? What are the highlights?
I think running out in the Principality is something incredible. The noise, the atmosphere is probably the best in the world, in my opinion. Playing your first cap is huge. I think for me that was something special that will always go down in my memoirs. But I think just the opportunity just to play one game for Wales is huge. But to be able to say that I've done it almost just shy of 80 times now makes me smile every time I think about it.
I've only ever sat at home or maybe caught the odd game, at the Principality, and it's you can't sit still. Your legs are shivering. It's like, is it like that for you too?
I think when you, as James does know, once you get into the groove of like the warm up and you're ready to go, it's your job. You're there to do a job, and you're in the focus, you're in the zone, and you sort of get through it. But in the build-up, certainly, you're excited, your legs are bouncing, you're ready to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, you don't think about it till after, do you? After the game's gone, you realise
not really
what you've been doing. But another question, obviously, after France game, you're going away to Italy for a week. You're not coming home here like you usually do. You're spending a week out there. Is that like for preparation for the World Cup, is it?
I believe so. I believe a little bit of training in the French Riviera is not a bad place to do. Go for a bit of training, James.
Hey, not bad at all, Georgie boy.
Try and get that same olive kiss that you've got in that skin of yours. So see if I can pick that up.
Hey, how does Becky feel about it when you go away? Obviously, a week or two is not too bad. No World Cup training camps and things like that.
Yeah, she finds it's difficult, isn't it? Because obviously when we're away, we go away for decent blocks. Like with this little the French game to the Italy game. I think that's a great little preparation sort of dummy run for the World Cup to come.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go away on World Cup camps, you're away for 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a time sometimes, and it does get hard. And I think she misses me. I don't really know, but certainly FaceTime and being able to chat to each other whilst we're away does certainly help. But it's tough, man. Because we're going hard graft all day, and then you just want to sort of just go home and be in your own bed sometimes. But yeah, it's a small sacrifice.
I mean, we were chatting earlier on. It's obviously Becky had a fantastic career, world champion, silver medalist in the Olympics. George, can you tell us what it's like to live with a world-class athlete?
Well, I only surround myself in world-class athletes, so I don't really know any different. James,
I know exactly what George.
No, it's great because even though Becky's now retired, she knows what I go through. She knows the fatigue. She knows the stresses, the pressures, the requirements upon me, and it's nice that she can, associate and understand what I'm going through. So for me, it's brilliant having her. That's bad, Dad, isn't it? It's brilliant having her around. I do quite enjoy her company. Yeah.
I was saying to Mal earlier, George, obviously she's an amazing cyclist, but she's an amazing cook. Or she bakes, doesn't she? Baked by Bex,
right.
I think the company's called, isn't it? But also, you're a bit of a baker yourself, aren't you?
No, I'm more quality control, James.
Oh, is it?
I like that, yeah. I've done a couple of cakes, James, not gonna lie, but nothing to the standard of Becky. But I'm more doing it. I'm more putting my life at risk, not tasting them, making sure no one else has any issues than myself.
If you were a rugby player, George, what would you be, bet?
I would like to think I'd be something cool, like a stuntman or like a fireman or something. I wouldn't mind being like some kind of instructor, teaching, educating something of like motorcycles maybe, or engines, or anything, just generally pottering around doing bugger all, really.
bit like James's James's career now, really.
A bit like me.
bit like James, obviously not as handsome, but a bit like James. But no, maybe, I don't know. I always thought like rugby's been amazing to me, and I found it a big step up going from the academy to that senior role. So I thought maybe like a mentor, maybe for that, but. Generally, I couldn't think of anything for me personally. Then being sat in an office would not really help. As you well know, James, I'm a bit of a wind-up merchant.
You are.
And I don't think I'd cope in the office environment very well.
How do they cope if you go around scaring people like you do to me?
Can you tell me the story? What happened?
Well, I'm sure George could share a bit of information.
there's a few times where James is of a nervous disposition, so to speak, and anytime you say boo, he tends to jump.
33-year-old asthmatic, like, it's not funny, is it?
It is funny, James.
Aye, for you it is, aye.
George, I know it's a busy time for you. Please give our love to Becky. All the best with the cake making and all that. You got her address to send a cake. That'd be great. Thank you very much. And
I got to quality control it first, so I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Fantastic. And yeah, have a great Six Nations from us here. At, we need you to do it as well, if that's all right. We say together, hooked on rugby. Right? Is that okay? So would you mind
Is
if
that because James? It's because you're James.
James
You got
hooked.
it.
So if I go 1, 2,
on fire
3,
tonight.
hooked on rugby, would you mind joining us? Would that be all right?
No, I can do it.
go.
I can do that. I'm sure I can do it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Hooked on
rugby.
Rugby.
Fantastic.
Bread up